To set up your builder's level, be it a telescope type or a laser type, you can check the text explaining this procedure and also find a link of a video on how to set up a builder's level. Once the level is set up, a tape measure hooked on the bottom of a stick of appropriate length can be set at each post location, and the measurement of that post location noted on your post location plan. Note that in this case that we are watching, all the measurements so far are the same, so they are not being written down as yet. The post on the slab will be longer because this location is lower than the sills, and it is finally noted on the post location plan. Once all of the post locations are written on the post location plan, we are ready to cut the posts to their correct length. Alright, so here we have gone around the whole building, every post, only 9 of them. We have it oriented toward the floor that we're standing on, A1, A2, A3, etc., going across. We took a shot at every post location, and unlike most decks and slabs that we work on, the perimeter of this was exactly the same, within a 1/16 of an inch all the way around, which is perfectly adequate. Even an 1/8 of an inch we can live with, okay? So go all the way around the perimeter, held the story pole on each spot, and we got 36 1/8 on every one. Except the middle, which would make sense because the middle is on a bracket out in the middle. You can swing around and show the bracket if you want to.
Hello, bracket.
So now we went around the perimeter. Everything is the same except the middle. And we know we have a post length. The post length is in the plans. If you open up your little book and look at the elevation. Okay, can everybody see this?
Yep.
Yeah. Here's the basic frame that we're putting up. And Lincoln wanted this is oriented actually because he wanted the cathedral ceiling down at that end. So the sun would come in and it would look good. So, grid, we go A, B, C, the lengthwise, parallel to the ridge, and then we go 1, 2, 3. So you can know the location of any post, which is labeled top and bottom on each post. You look at that and it will tell you where it goes. So if you got a post that's B2, you go down B over to 2 and you know it's this one. If you got C3, you go over to C, you know the 3 and it's that post.
Yeah.
So that tells you numerically where they are. All right. We also mark the elevations of each member in the building. So when you look at post, which is what we're talking about now, if a post sets where we're standing on this deck, it's D1. If the post stands on the second floor, it's D2. And those are the only posts we have. We have a post on the first floor, and we have these posts that sit on the deck or at that level. Okay? So that's the way these marks work. When you get to look at horizontal members, either beams going this way or ties going this way, it's basically the same thing. If you were to take a look at a beam and the level was D2, let's say A1, A2, right? So you know, you go up, you look at D2, you know it's on this level, and it's going between A1 and A2, right? Yeah. Also, you'll see when you look at the end of the beam, you'll see that there's a couple interesting things. Let's just say this was B1, A1, A2, right? You look at that beam and you'll see little X's going down the side of it. you'll also see black paint on the outside of one of them too, in most cases. And that means it goes to the outside of the building.
The X's.
The X's always go, the black paint always goes to the outside of the building. That's a given, all right? So you will also, besides that, you'll have some beams that are interior and they don't have any X's on them. So one of these two will be underlined, okay? It means that the end that you're looking at goes on post A2. If you see the other one underlined, the post that you got in your hand, the beam, there is a difference, isn't there? Yeah, okay. The beam that you got in your hand, the end that you have will go to the post that's underlined.
Yeah.
And you'll only see that generally if you don't have the X's or the black paint on the outside. Okay? So that's how the whole thing works in terms of the erector set and how it goes together. Okay. Anybody got any questions on that? No. Okay. So back to what we were doing on this scribble page here. We're now going to take each one of these posts and all these posts that we have here are 2 inches longer than necessary, so that they need to be adjusted. So we'll look at our post location sheet that has all the links noted, get the correct one for this post, run our tape down from the top, and mark exactly the length that needs to be cut. So you go make a line there, and then I usually make a little mark so I can see it. Make sure I'm not on any pieces of scrap wood or anything in there, that I'm all set there. And I go down here, go over here, and I do the same thing, okay? And now I mark. If you're cutting square, it was a good idea to put your square on there and make sure that that's good, okay? Because sometimes it can get dropped or whatever and they won't be square. So this one's good enough. The other thing to remember is when you make a cut, you always want to make sure your blade is in the part that you're throwing away. If I go on this side, it's going to be shorter by the kerf or the thickness of the blade. So I always want to make sure my cut's in the waist. Okay, just make it easy. Flip it once. Okay. You can tell if your blade is in square because it won't follow that line. There should be a handsaw right over there. Somebody has to go get it. Flip it one more time. And then one more time. Okay, go for it. Okay. Always a good idea to take this and get it off the deck so people are carrying beams around. Where's that scrap pile? Looks like we got one over there, okay? So now, this is C1. So we're going to go and stand this post up just to get one up to see how it looks, okay?